Hello, I'm Khánh Linh, your guide to today's news. Let's take a look at the most important events making waves today.
Party chief hails Kyrgyz Prime Minister's official visit to Vietnam. Vietnamese, Kyrgyz government leaders hold talks in Hanoi. Prime Minister, social housing must be prioritized over commercial accommodation. Top legislator highlights contributions from NA female deputies, officials. Vietnam Airlines connects Vietnam with the world at ITB Berlin 2025.
The official visit to Vietnam by Kyrgyz Prime Minister Adylbek Kasymaliev will open up a new stage for the two countries' friendship and multifaceted cooperation, Party General Secretary Talam said, while receiving the Prime Minister in Hanoi on March 6. Congratulating Kyrgyzstan on its significant achievements in recent times, the host leader affirmed that Vietnam highly values its friendship with Kyrgyzstan. He described this enduring friendship as a priceless asset, built by the leaders and people of both countries. He noted that, over the past more than 3 decades, political-diplomatic relations between the two countries have been strengthened, while economic trade cooperation has seen positive progress. However, there remains significant untapped potential, the leaders stressed, hoping for strengthened collaboration across all fields based on the agreements and commitments between both sides. Expressing his delight to visit Vietnam for the first time, Prime Minister Adylbek Kasymaliev said, he is impressed by Vietnam's remarkable socio-economic development achievements and its growing international standing. He also showed his desire to learn from Vietnam's development experience. Discussing the directions for the development of bilateral relations in the coming time, the two leaders agreed that both countries have significant potential to foster cooperation based on mutual interests. They emphasized the need to enhance engagements at all levels through bilateral and multilateral channels, to strengthen political trust and establish cooperation mechanisms between ministries, sectors, and localities. Regarding multilateral cooperation, both sides agreed to enhance exchanges and consultations, while considering mutual support for each other's candidacies and initiatives at multilateral forums, including the United Nations and the Eurasian Economic Union.
Vietnamese Prime Minister Pham Minh Chinh held talks with his Kyrgyz counterpart Adylbek Kasymaliev after hosting an official welcome ceremony for the latter in Hanoi on March 6 morning. Prime Minister Pham Minh Chinh warmly welcomed Prime Minister Kasymaliev and the delegation of the government of the Kyrgyz Republic on their first official visit to Vietnam since the two countries established diplomatic relations in 1992. The visit is an important historical milestone, opening a new phase of cooperation for the traditional friendship between Vietnam and Kyrgyzstan towards upgrading the relationship to a comprehensive partnership. The two leaders informed each other about the situation in each country and discussed directions to promote bilateral relations while agreeing on many specific measures to create new momentum and deepen cooperation in many fields. Both prime ministers affirmed the importance of maintaining meeting at all levels, especially at high levels, through all channels, as well as between ministries, sectors, and localities, including bilateral contacts at international forums and conferences, especially at the United Nations, moving towards the establishment of direct exchange channels to effectively promote high-level agreements reached between the two sides. They also agreed to continue promoting the tradition of close coordination and mutual support at multilateral forums, especially at the UN. They acknowledged the improvements in economic and trade cooperation, with bilateral trade gradually growing, but it is not sustainable and yet to meet each side's potential. They emphasized that the two countries need to further exploit the advantages brought by the free trade agreement between Vietnam and the Eurasian Economic Union. To improve the effectiveness of cooperation, both sides agreed to support the establishment of coordination mechanisms between agencies in charge of economics, trade, and investment, as well as the possibility of setting up an intergovernmental committee. They welcome businesses of the two countries to set up their partnerships, participate in promotion activities, and specialized fairs held in each country. The two leaders also agreed to assign the two countries' ministries and sectors to promote negotiations and signing of agreements on double taxation avoidance, investment promotion and protection, and economic cooperation, and the exchange of lists of goods that each country has export potential and strength, such as wood and wood products, electronic products, garment and textiles, aquatic products, seafood, fruits, cashew nuts, and tea. They agreed to expand cooperation into potential areas such as agriculture, defense security, education training, culture tourism, and locality-to-locality exchange, as well as transportation connectivity, particularly aviation and railways, to create new collaboration opportunities. After the talks, the leaders signed a joint statement on the outcomes of the Kyrgyz Prime Minister's official visit to Vietnam and witnessed the signing and exchange of bilateral cooperation documents covering education, legal affairs, and civil aviation.
Prime Minister Pham Minh Chinh chaired a national teleconference on March 6 to seek measures to speed up the development of social housing. From 2025 to 2030, Vietnam is striving to achieve the goal of building at least 1 million social housing units for low-income earners and workers at industrial parks. To date, 10 localities nationwide have included social housing development targets in their annual and 5-year socio-economic development plans. 30 localities have issued plans to implement the project. In 2024, 28 projects with 20,000 units were completed across the country, statistics show. Addressing the conference, Prime Minister Chinh urged the prompt settlement of difficulties and obstacles to speed up the development of social housing. The localities, that have been assigned specific targets, must consider this a political task and adhere to the principle that people are at the center, the key player and also the decisive factor of development, and that all policies must be people-oriented, he noted. Social housing must be prioritized over commercial housing, and be developed with complete accompanied infrastructure, the leader went on, adding that, the only difference is that, social housing benefits from the state's support policies. In particular, social housing must include options for both purchase and lease purchase, he stressed. National Assembly Chairman Tran Thanh Mon held a meeting in Hanoi on March 6 with full-time female deputies, female officials of the Parliament's committees, agencies, and office. The meeting was held on the occasion of the 115th Vietnamese Women's Day, March 8, 1910 to 2025, and the 1985th anniversary of the Hai Ba Trung Uprising. Over the recent time, female deputies and officials have made great efforts to complete the legislature's tasks. Their efforts have been recognized and appreciated. The top legislator urged National Assembly female deputies and officials to continue promoting the glorious tradition of Vietnamese women, amplifying the achievements of previous terms, and further doubling the accomplishments already made. On this occasion, he asked for greater attention to increasing the engagement of female officials in leadership activities, while drafting a plan for the election of deputies to the 16th National Assembly and People's Councils. The chairman encouraged the female deputies and officials to give more proposals in law building and execution, especially amid greater National Assembly workload in the coming time with higher requirements.
Vietnam Airlines and Saigon Tourist Group has jointly run a booth at the IBT Berlin 2025, the world's leading travel trade show in Berlin from March 4 to 6. The booth is expected to help enhance the collective strength of the two leading tourism and aviation corporations in Vietnam, towards promoting Vietnamese tourism and further attracting European tourists in general and Germans in particular. Speaking at an event named Happy Hour, co-organized by the two groups during ITB Berlin 2025, Cao Chin Min, director of the Vietnam Airlines branch in Germany, said that the flag carrier is currently offering direct flights between Vietnam and Germany, featuring a modern fleet and good services.
After 20 years of operating direct flights, traveling between Vietnam and Germany, as well as between Vietnam and Europe, has become quite convenient. Starting from 2 flights per week, we plan to increase the frequency to 17 flights per week in 2025, including 12 flights from Frankfurt to Hanoi and Ho Chi Minh City.
Meanwhile, the Munich-Vietnam route, which just began operations in October 2024, has a frequency of 5 flights per week, including 3 to Hanoi and 2 to Ho Chi Minh City.
With 50 years of history and over 30 years of participation in the fair, Saigon Tourist has expanded into the hotel sector and various other tourism activities. Thanks to the presence at this fair, we have established many relationships with leading travel companies worldwide to bring the world to Vietnam.
Also at the event, more than 500 partners and visitors enjoyed typical Vietnamese dishes, such as pho, fried spring rolls, fresh spring rolls, and others. Held at the Messe Berlin exhibition grounds, the IBT Berlin 2025 attracted a record 5,800 exhibitors from 170 countries and territories, marking a 5% increase from the previous year.